Jack Doyle, thank you so much for sending this in. I apologize for not getting this to you sooner. And we're gonna dive into this and figure out how we can help you. Right now, you're squatting close to 100 degrees. It's actually pretty good, buddy. About 98 degrees, which is fabulous. And that I don't think that's an issue. We can check it on this side. You squat well. The only thing, we're going to look at this later, but you're separating your hands way too early, which leaves your arm out to dry. So you should be driving right there almost together with your glove. So I want you to hold on to that glove a little bit longer. We'll come back to that in a little bit. So there's a small change in your knee when you first plant your foot. Your knee's internally rotated here, and it has to get over that ankle to be able to stabilize. Let's look at it here. But you know what? It does stabilize eventually, but it's what we call an internally rotated front knee. So that's an issue, and that's pretty common with youth players, just finding that stability. All right, let's do another one. The next one is the front knee. And actually, it's quite high. It's 157, which is fabulous. You're almost straightening your leg. That's what we want, and that's not common among youth players. We have a lot of deficiencies in that angle. 106 degrees right here. 106, which is pretty good. We want it to be above 110, and I think that's pretty good for now. Now, coming back to the hands, I think you're going to be able to drive farther if you can keep your ball and glove a little bit longer, so you're going to be able to push. But you're almost being forced to throw the ball sooner just because you've separated so early. So you're kind of hung out to dry, so to speak. So I'd like to work on that. All right, this leads us to posture ball release, and this is what we would call an A posture, and this is what we would call a B posture, and this is what we would call a C posture, and you're what we call a B posture. So all that means is when you bring your leg up and your chest is in this angle, you're going to have to switch your angle all the way to your B angle. So that's a huge head movement that I want to reduce. So when you're coming up, when your leg's up, I don't want you to sink down. You're actually moving down. You start here, and I think your hands are going up too high above your face. I think they could be a little bit lower. You're going to have to play around with that and see what feels good, but I don't want your chest to go in front, because all of a sudden now once you plant, you're going to have to come all the way back to a B posture. So that I would watch posture change. I think that's an issue that you could improve on. Okay, release point. Release point, you're releasing the ball just outside that front foot, which is fabulous. I think that's something that you're really going to be able to improve on. It's pretty good. Okay, front knee, like I said, the front knee looks good. The back leg is actually staying on the ground. The only thing I see is the internally rotated front knee. and your posture change. Those are the big ones so far. All right, let's it's going to take us into stacking. Kind of covered it a little bit with you hunching over in this position. So that's going to take out a lot of your energy. You can kind of see it right here where your chest is going forward. I want your head to stay over that back foot. Lower half's going to squat, that's not an issue, but the upper body's going to stay back, and not just back, but back in this direction and back in this direction. So we need a little bit of both, where you need to create that tension in your core, but also keep your posture back so you don't have to change your head as much and you can rotate better. So stacking would be an issue. Front glove's going low because it has so much time to sit there. You separate very, very early, and the front glove is going to go low. You can see it from this end. The shoulder blade should be supported, and the movement should be this way. Instead of going down, I want to be moving as much as I can around that shoulder blade. That's going to create a lot of tension, and then I'm going to be able to rotate well out of the back side around that front side. So front glove is definitely an issue. We're going to look at high elbow here, which looks to me to be pretty good. You're about 181 degrees, which is fine. Your elbow stays at that shoulder level pretty much the whole time. No huge issues, I don't think. So that's nice. We're going to look at chest extension. Off the back hip up to the shoulder, about 40 degrees, which is fabulous. We want to make sure that if we can get up to 48, 50, so it's not much more, but it's about 3 or 4 inches. If you can really pull down with your core is the big, generator of force in your upper body. So you can really get a lot of forward movement while you're rotating, and you're going forward movement through it. With med ball throws and any kind of core work that you can think of or research. All right, last one we're going to look at. Here's another thing I don't see right here, the shoulder blade. I don't see your shoulder blade back here. Let's look at what it looks like here. The shoulder blade pinch is good. It's just it could be so much better. And that's where I think the bands and the weighted balls are going to come in. I think you need to, because you're so forward moving in this direction, you're not getting that shoulder blade back as much as you should, and that's gonna help just drive everything through at the last second. So the more you can pinch on that back side of your throwing arm, the harder you're going to throw. All right, let's look at arm fly out. That's maximum layback right there. So there's some flexibility that could increase right here with the bands and the weighted balls. Those are going to help increase that. It's not crazy. The arm fly out. There's a little arm fly out, comes outside that elbow, and that's okay. We just want to speed this through. See how many frames it takes to get your hand through. We want that to come through as quickly as possible. So I think you do have a forearm fly out a little bit, but quick picks, double plays, all of those drills off of the forearm fly out are going to really help. Your knee stabilization, box drill 1, box drill 2, walking torques, walking windups, box drops, 212 squats. All of those are going to help that front knee get stabilized. Your separations and your scap load, I think, from your knees, 45-degree knees or final arcs. With that front glove, you can also put a 2-pound ball in that front glove, and what that does is you're going to feel that 2-pound ball pull your arm down, and you're going to notice how much you really need to stay back. And with the stacking as well, staying back. So go ahead and go through this video, take some notes, and go back and go on the website, look up the weaknesses that we talked about, and you'll have drills to work on each of those weaknesses. And I will talk to you soon. I hope all goes well and you're working hard. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.